Yeah, we'll step a little bit forward. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Good.
Easton, how do you feel like your game has evolved over the last year?
I think from last season and this season was just maturity and understanding the defense. I wouldn't say I'm a master of it, but I think the calls, that was mainly my first 2 years was just getting the playbook down and understanding my assignment. So I think this year will be like the complete me. It'll be like the complete me, just knowing the playbook so I can play as fast as I can.
You're heavier. I don't know how much more, but did you feel like that was something you had to add to your physically to play the position you're at? Or?
Yes, sir. The process was a little tough. I had to eat a little bit more, lift a little bit more to get my weight up. But I've gotten better at managing my weight and more so controlling it to stay exactly where I am. So I stay in that 230 to 235 range, and I'm pretty good at controlling that with dieting and lifting and stuff.
Yeah, everybody really hates having to eat more.
Yeah. At this point, it's like a job. It's not even like I don't eat food as good anymore. It's kind of sickening.
Despite growing that way, you've seemed to find a good balance between keeping that strength and still keeping your speed out there. What do you think you've kind of attributed that to be able to still be strong and be quick out there in the linebacking core?
I would say the main thing with that is just off-season work, doing a lot of speed training with our strength coaches, just making sure that although I do have to eat a lot, I also got to maintain my weight so where I can still play at a fast level. So I try not to get over the 235 range. So I think staying below that is what it makes me have my speed.
In your preference, do you think one is more important to the other, or do you think they have equal importance for you as a defender?
I think each one attributes to a different type of player. So obviously me, I'm not as tall, so I don't have the ability to jump or get high on the ball. So I think speed for me and size is like my quickness is what helps me the most. But and for me too as well, strength too, because I'm going against a lot of guys. I'm only 5'10", 5'11", so I'm going against 6'3", 6'4" linemen. So I got to for sure be able to get them off me.
You making fun of his height?
Hey man, I'm the same height.
I'm slouching.
Your name. Really, what does this defense have to do to be as good as a year ago?
Honestly, we just got to go in day out, work hard, stay consistent. That's the main thing I would say. There's no drop-off in the play, whether it's 1, 2s, or 3s. I would say everybody staying consistent in their job and just making sure they do what they do.
You had the best overall defense last year in the Pac-12. Just how have you guys really dealt with those expectations and been able to still continue to improve, even though you might have lost a few pieces?
Mm-hmm. I would say it's just our standard. As a Beaver defense, we're taught to always go hard, always play fast, never give up. So I think it's just built inside of us through Trent Bray, Coach Bray, our defensive coordinator, who always pushes that upon us, always trying to make us go 100%, give it all we got no matter what.
And for you, I mean, the quarterbacks in this league, how much does that excite you to go against Michael Penix, all the quarterbacks from top to bottom in this league?
Hey man, I'm always excited to go against a new quarterback, but it's always with me just trying to stick to my keys, read the QB, stay locked in on what I got to do on my assignment. So I'm always excited to go against a new QB, but it's always just, normal for me.
Easton, you played with some pretty good inside linebackers here your first few years. What did you learn from a few of those guys?
Well, for me, it was just the maturity part and just the understanding of the game. Coming in as a freshman, it's really new from high school. There's a lot more. First of all, the playbook's way more extensive than high school, but also the techniques that I had to learn. So having people like Omar, Avery, and Kyrie, and Coletto too, just having their mentality and their understanding of the game is what pushed me. Because the playbook part is something I can learn on my own, but football is you got to do your job and then it's get the ball. So the techniques, getting the ball afterward and finding ways around linemen, block destruction, things like that, that was the biggest thing that they taught me.
Why the number change for you?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been, my whole life I've been number 1. So when I came here, it was kind of like a shock to be number 55. But I just felt like I deserved it. I was a young guy. But I don't want to say I deserve it now, but I waited patiently. I just had to take whatever I could get it.
Those single-digit numbers are sought after, aren't they?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I've never been number 5, so I thought it was cool too.
Easton, what have you seen out of the linebacker room so far? You got some new faces in there, got returners, but what's the competition been like so far from spring to fall?
The competition's high right now. As you can see, we've been rotating a lot, getting a lot of guys in, trying to get different backers working with different backers. Because I think at this point, it's still in the air. It's only day 3, and I know Coach Bray is going to probably use the full camp to figure out who's going to be there.
Any guys that have kind of stood out to you a little bit here so far in the first couple days of practice?
I think everybody's been doing well. John Miller, he's the vet because he's been here the longest. So we also got Micaiah who just transitioned. I think he's doing a great job. And then we got Calvin too, who just transferred in here. So those are older guys. Obviously, they understand the game. But we also got Melvin at the wheel spot too. Who's been here for this will be his second year. I think he's doing a good job. His technique's well. He understands the playbook. So it's just a battle. I guess we'll see what happens.
Have you seen Oma Toshu kind of adjust from defensive end to linebacker? Obviously, I can imagine that's not easy transition, but what have you seen from him as a companion, as a teammate?
In spring, I think it was a little bit hard because similar to like Calvin, who transitioned from being in the trenches on the line to now being at inside backer off the ball. It's just a different game because you don't have someone off the ball in your face like right off the snap. So now you have a little more time to recognize the play and recognize things like that. So I think he's done a good job. I think this fall camp will help him out, and because we definitely will need him in the season. But I think just more experience at the position will be what helps him the most.
You just mentioned all those older guys. All those guys are gone now. That leaves you as kind of the leader in production and tackles at the spot. How much responsibility is that for you to kind of carry forward what they build at the position?
I take a lot of pride in it being, I wouldn't say I'm because not by age, but just being the vet, I guess, in the room. I try to get as much extra time in with them. I think it's a lot of pressure on my shoulders, but I'm not shying away from it. I know what I got to do. I got to put in a little extra here and there, just to make sure that we're keeping the standard of having the old guys and keeping the same level of play that was just left off. So, I mean, it's a big responsibility, but I think I'm ready for it. I've been here for 2 years. I'm ready to show them what I got.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.